Om Slokascha Kadantascha Kapilogachkarnakaha Laborarachivikato Vignanasha Vinayakaha Jumakito Vinajaksho Balachandra Gajananaha Dvadakshaitani Namani Yapate Chunuyaditi Vidyarande Vivahicha Praveshe Nirgame Kata Sangame Sakate Chaiva Vignastasya Najayate Vignabalikottaraya Shri Ganari Pataye Namaha Vakratuna Mahakaya Surikoti Samaprama Harinam Kurume Deva Sarvakayeshu Sarvada Shuklam Baladidam Vishnu Shashivanam Chitubhujam Prasannamananandaye Sarva Vigna Upashantaye Namaste Sham Jayaste Sham Kutaste Shampurajaya Yesham Nivarasham Hridayasya Dinaranaha Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Om Gananantva Ganapati Gom Havamahe Pryanantva Pripati Gom Havamahe Nidinantva Nidipati Gom Havamahe Vaso mam aham jani garbhadamatum jasvi garbhadam. Okay. So namaste. Let's move this mic a little bit. It just looks like there's one of us out there today, this afternoon, for sadhana. And so thanks for joining. And yeah, let me know who's out there, who's out there. A couple of you now. So say, give me a little hello in the comments. So I get a feeling who's joining, please. And so today is the class is called Sama Vritti, equal fluctuation. And there's this big concept in yoga, and it has to do with functioning through the pairs of opposites. Like that's where our mind is, kind of always going to. Attraction, aversion, pleasure, pain, if you will. And that keeps us preoccupied. And so, and that by itself has is essentially, has a sense of normality to it. But that idea of our mind just being buried, if you will, in, pleasure-seeking, experiences or pain-avoiding experiences, begins to create, attachment, possession, or aversion. And for the seeker of freedom, the seeker of liberation, those attachment points, if you will, are problematic for the mind that wants to rest, in say a peaceful state of of meditation, or just be, at peace in your life. I mean, we've seen, and I've certainly experienced here, all kinds of variance would be the nice way to put it, between people's mental projections, if you will, and how that ends up in the world, right? And so, and what goes with that is karma. So I taught a retreat last weekend up at Shivalaya, Karma Yoga 1. This weekend is Karma Yoga 2, if you're interested. And last week we unpacked Karma Yoga through the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. This week we're going to unpack the teachings of karma through the teachings of the Yoga Sutras. And that is of our particular interest because it's the karmas or the samskaras that propel us in the life, and typically they're propelling us in the direction of our desire, the direction of our vasana, or they're propelling us away from something. And that disturbance, variance, creates a mental state, if you will, that's just flat out unstable. There's no other way to put it. And I would say that right now, I mean, my goodness, there's so much fire in people's minds that it seems like, equanimity, sama is the word for equanimity, is nowhere to be found anywhere, And for the yogi, it's a vital importance that we're working in our practices in such a way that we create equanimity. And first in our asana, we'll get going here in just a second, but I would say that when we practice our asana, even the body feels sensations, and we may begin to say, oh, that feels good, or that doesn't feel good. And it's those, if you will, value judgments that we place on the experience that begins to create that attraction and aversion. And what I would say is it reinforces what's already there, and you're activating in that way because that's what's inside of your mind. You've been taught to divide experience in between, this is a good pile, this is a bad pile. And that's the stuff that we want to unravel and completely unpack. And so as we go through our practice today, sustain kind of an equal-minded approach in how you're feeling in the practice. Even so there may be a sensation that comes up, just pivot back to I'm equal-minded in that I'm not inviting, if you will, some kind of a judgment on that, and let that just allow, for you to settle in to a sense of presence. And that's the thing. In the yoga, of karma, if you will, there's that futuristic imprint of a desire that's subtle in its quality, and the mind then is not necessarily present. So all kinds of different things. I'm going to slip back to my mat here and we'll begin. And thanks for that your endurance for my little kind of dharmas, little conversations that we have to support our practice. And so how we'll start here, seated position, of course, but the invitation is just initially to breathe into the belly. So we know that the technique here is as you inhale, the belly extends outward. And as you exhale, the belly draws to the spine. With the eyes closed, the hands can rest on the knees or thighs with the palms turned upward here. And as we've, talked about and studied, the diaphragmatic breath invokes the parasympathetic nervous system, where it eases the sympathetic system, the fight or flight. allow for, if you will, the energy of being grounded to kind of appear in your experience. Let the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale be essentially sama, essentially the equal or the same, sama vritti. And then as one is settled into the breath practice here, let it, let the pacing of it slow down. Notice any shifts that may be appearing. And then we'll breathe into the chest. And so the technique is you essentially draw the belly button towards the spine now as you inhale and let the breath come into the upper chest. And then just relax the chest and the ribs as you exhale the breath. So now we're actually doing a more active breathing technique invoking the sympathetic nervous system. So there should be a sense of a little more warmth, a little more activation. Yeah. And then let's join those two together. So full yogic breathing, right? Extend the belly out as you initiate the inhale. And then continue to inhale into the chest. Pause and then gently exhale the breath. Again, be sensitive, intuitively though, mind you, to the duration, the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale. Oh yeah. And we'll begin to set our sankalpa, set our intentions here. And what I would say is maybe there's something that in your, worldview, in your life, say, where you're maybe extra bound, there's a possession of some sort, or the opposite, something that you're, say, avoiding or averted to would be a better way to put it, where you deny its truth, you deny its reality. And just notice how either of those disturb the quality of your experience from, say, a state of equal-mindedness or sama Vritti. Just feel that. And we'll chant a couple of Oms as an invocation to our practice, and we'll move our bodies a little bit after that, of course. So exhale the breath completely, and then take a nice big inhale here. And again, another nice big inhale for Om. Okay, friends. Namaste. So just gently open the eyes here if you haven't already. I'm going to take my seated cushion from underneath me and just toss it gently to the side. And then let's interlace the hands here. Extend the palms out and then just float, hands and arms up. Breathing. And then take a nice big inhale. And exhale, gently float the hands and arms down and rock back on the sacrum, little stretch of the back body, kidney area. And then gently inhale, float on up. And exhale, gently float down and begin to intuitively discover a pacing that feels, equal, sama. A smoothness in your breathing and a, smoothness in your movement. With the only, if you will, if is one expectation, is to sustain a sense of presence in the experience. So instead of anticipating completion of movement or breath or the start of something, just allow for the experience to be fully bound to just the present succession of moments. Yeah. And this next one we'll meet at the top here. So how we move and how we breathe becomes particularly vital, I feel, in developing kind of a more fluid present moment nature. Release the grip of the hands. Float the arms down by your side with the palms up here. Just kind of feel for a moment. And with an inhale, float the hands and arms up. So really peacefully. Big breath. And exhale to prayer through the heart. Again, it's just this really slow pace. And yeah, maybe pushing the breath a little bit. That's totally fine. The palms turn open and the arms slide to the sides, and then inhale. And exhale. Sama Vritti, equal fluctuation of the inhale and exhale, and joined with movement in its precision. Again, the arms slide open. One more of these. Inhale. Exhale. Oh, yeah. And then pause here for just a moment. Feel into that. Then we'll do a little twist to the right. So take the left hand on the outside of the right knee. Let the spine extend. So long spine. Breathe into the belly. Look over this right shoulder. Feel into that. Mm-hmm. Then grip this left hand on that right knee fairly firmly. And then release this right arm up and over the head. Stay with your breathing. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. And then put a little bend in the elbow, draw the hand to the back of the head, lift the chin just a little. Breathe deeply. And then gently inhale, sweep arm up. Exhale, float it down. Pivot out of it to neutral position. Pause here for a moment. And then twisting now to the left, the right hand on the outside left knee. Reassert length in the spine, so sit nice and tall here. Breathe into the belly. Look over this left shoulder. Again, find a pretty firm grip of that right hand to the left knee, and then float left arm up and over. And just extend here. Breathe deep. Mm-hmm. And then put a little bend in the elbow, hand to the back of the head, chin lifts slightly. Sama Vritti pranayama, so equal length of the inhale, exhale. There's nowhere to go or be other than just the moment that we're sharing. And then inhale, float, arm up. Exhale, hand and arm down. Back to neutral here. And then gently walk the hands out. Stay with the breath here. Front spine is long initially, so I'm grounding the hands and I'm pulling the heart forward, kind of engaging the muscles of the back, and then gently let the torso drift towards the earth or wherever is suitable for your hips. Just breathe here. Really nice. And then gently let the hands track back towards the body here. And then we'll float the knees up, releasing the knees and the hips. I know mine can get a little cranky that way. Mm-hmm. Take a moment, and then we'll meet in tabletop position. So we'll come to all fours here. Uh-huh. And then from tabletop, just feel free to create circles with the hips. And maybe little barrel rolls with the torso. This feeling and being here. If there's anyone that's newer here to the class, we do a little asana and then pranayama meditation. So that's really what this class is designed for. It's more of our, pranayama meditation practice than really lighting up our asana practice. Switch direction, if you were. Just enough, though, to invite openness and a flow of energy. Uh-huh. And then let's release back into an extended child's pose here. So arms stay long, hips to the heels. That's it. And then gently inhale, float up into neutral position. And then let's meet in downward facing dog. So just gently tuck the back toes under, hips up, of course. Just take a moment here to kind of wiggle your body into it. Feel free to add some movement if that feels as if that will help create some space in the body or unstick some of the things that are tender and stretch. And sustain this equal breathing practice, inhaling, exhaling. Just that concentration alone supports staying in present moment perception. Begin to lighten how you breathe. So if there's any coarseness in the cycle of your breathing, begin to create a little more subtle nature of that. Just kind of work that out. And then we'll meet in a forward fold. So little bend of the knees, walk the feet to the hands here. Forward folding. And lengthen out. Let the weight kind of abide in the big toes of the feet here. You can stir the head, yes and no. Grabbing opposite elbows if you like. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And then gently inhale. Half lift your hands to the shins. Lengthen from tail to crown. Breathe deeply here, inhaling. And exhale, lengthen out as you fall down, chin tucks here. And then again, inhale, half lift. Exhale, folding. Just moving slow, breathing, slow, but in equal patterning. Last one. Oh, yeah. Ooh, and little bend knees, and then send now the left leg back into the lunge here. We'll take a moment here in the lunge. Get some length in the body, if you will. Firm up that back leg quad. And then with an inhale, straighten the front leg, draw the forehead towards the shin. And then exhale, bend the front leg knee. Sinking, and again, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And one more of these. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And then just keep bending and releasing very slowly, very, very, very slowly, the left knee to the earth. Just feel that. Ooh, big extension here. Deep, deep, deep sensation in the hips. And then gently draw the right hand to the right knee, and we'll just release the pressure of the hip. Come on up. And then gently sink into that front leg knee, like so, and then float the arms. And just reach up. Stay with the breath. Keep the core slightly active. Extend the arms back. And then put a little energy in the shoulder blade area, the traps and the rhomboids, to kind of squeeze those onto the back. Feel that. And a nice big inhale and exhale, hands to prayer. And then we'll just gently twist to the right here. A little twist. Mm-hmm. Breathe into the belly. Some of you may want to open the arms. This can be a lot. But open the arms for a little deeper sensation. You choose. I'm going to stay hands to prayer here. Breathing. And then take a nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release the twist here, hands plant, and then inhale, straighten the front leg, and then just gently bow over the extended leg, stretching that right hamstring. Feel that. And then ground the right foot all the way up to the toes to open up the top of the foot, we find. Yeah. And then gently, we'll bend that front leg knee, the hands step forward, plant, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. So just step back in down dog. You can wiggle that right leg a little bit, relieve the hip, and let some blood flow through the joint a little bit. Find that. Yeah. Stay with the breath. So switching the directions here. For me, and then left foot to the left hand. So left foot steps forward. So take a moment there, feeling into that. Length, and you can see I'm going to engage that back leg, pretty firm, quads active. And then inhale, straighten the front leg. Draw the forward towards the shin, and then bending that front leg knee. And then again, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And then one more time, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend, and then very slowly release now that right knee to the earth. Oh, and we're just very deep into the hips here. Just pause, let that unfold for the body. Very present in the stillness. And then gently draw the hands to the left knee. Come on up here. Going to relieve some of the pressure in the hip. And then sink deep into that front leg. Again, keep the core active so belly draws to the spine. Find that just that little muscle engagement, and then float the arms. Breathe very deeply here. Yep. Stay with the breath. Reach up and back. So a lot of length here in the body. Breath continues to flow in an equal pattern. On the inhale and the exhale. A lot of presence can develop that way. A big inhale. And exhale, hands to prayer. And then we slowly float, twisting now to the left. Sinking armpit to knee. Breathing into the belly. And now open the back body. And then again, some of you may want to open in a twist. Or not. Just stay with the breath. So now just notice that we're going from side to side, and clearly that's what we do. But that's that equal kind of patterning in the body, in the sun side, the right side, the moon side, the left side. Hatha yoga, so sun and moon. Nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release the twist here. And then hands plant, inhale, straighten the front leg. Pull the toes up. And exhale, bow over the extended leg. And just breathe here, breathe deeply. And ground the left foot all the way to the toes. And then inhale, bend the front leg knee. The hands slip forward. And then we step back into downward facing dog. Yeah, stay with the breath. Breathe in deep. And then let's meet in child's pose. So to the knees we go, hips to the heels. And just relax in child's pose. Hands can float back to the ankles if you like. Breathe into the belly here. Get some of that medicine free in the kidneys and the back body. Oh, yeah. And then gently inhale, come back up into tabletop. So we're in tabletop. I'm just going to spin around to face shawl. And so from here, let's extend, real familiar, the right leg out to the right. And then let the hips drift back and then float forward a little bit. So put a little bit of motion into that, letting that inner groin open. And then we'll come onto the forearms here. Stay with the breath. That's it. And then gently we'll come just out of it partially, back onto the hands. And then check this out, bend into the knee and then just sink over into the hip, and maybe you come onto the forearms again. Yeah, just a little stir the pelvis, and then inhale, straighten the leg. We'll ground this left hand, and then the right hand draws to the sky. So we twist to the direction of the leg. And just breathe here. Really reach and sustain equal pattern. Again, in your breath, just stay committed to that. And when you're ready, inhaling and exhaling, release the hand down, back to neutral position here. And then extend the right leg out to the right. Going into that, to give the hips just a little bit of a rock, forward and back. And then gently come onto the forearms here. Yeah, it's good. Breathing. And then gently back onto the hands here, and then bend into that left knee, and then just sink over to the left. Maybe use the forearms again for a little stability. It's fine. Ooh. And then gently we'll come back into neutral ground, this right hand, and then inhale left. So again, twisting to the direction of the leg. Breathe here. Breathing. Yeah. Nice big inhale. And exhale the arm down and release the back into neutral position. So from here, take this right foot, and you kind of have to come out of it, and to the outside of the left knee, a figure 4 is created. The toes tuck under or the top of the foot if it's a little too sensitive. And then let the hips drift back, the elbows bend. And then we're a little stretch of the outside of that right hip. Equal breathing. And gently, hands ground, inhale, foot up to neutral, and then we switch this out. So draw the left foot on the outside of that right knee. So kind of a moon yin-ish, more supple, softer flow here. Not as much heat. Really trying to manage how much heat I put in our practice these days, because we're absorbing so much in the atmosphere and our minds, so talking about the whole pairs of opposites, and, there's so much emotional and mental disturbance right now. Peace is the practice, ultimately. And then gently inhale, come back up to a neutral position. So tabletop, and then we'll meet in down dog again. So just when you're ready, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Feeling into that. And then walk the hands back an inch, and let that, assist, if you will, the heels going towards the earth. And then if you need to maybe get another inch in there for the heels to go a little low, that's fine. So just shorten the stance. It definitely creates a more apparent sensation in the calf and the Achilles, likely. That's really good. And then we'll meet in child's pose. So child's pose. Let the knees kind of draw towards one another or together. And then the hands flow back. And so the torso is right on the thighs. And again, you breathe into the belly. Stretching the back body. And then gently inhale to neutral position. So we'll come up. And then we'll spin around, onto our backs here. So just wiggle around onto your back. Just take it easy. All the way down. Let the arms float over the head long. Just give the body a, full body stretch here. Mm-hmm. Breathe in. Can bend the elbows so the shoulders are soft. Just take the pressure out of the shoulder joint, whatever feels most relaxing. Most harmonizing. Allowing the energies to float in between the pairs of opposites, or attraction and aversion. Letting the story subside. Yeah, and gently we'll hug the knees into the chest, a little hug here. You can rock side to side to let the spine have a little massage that way, we know. Mm-hmm. And then ground the feet with a supine twist. The arms are at a T or cactus position. Shift the hips to the right, set them down, knees to the left. And so the spine is essentially straight on the long side of the mat. Gaze can float to the right here. And just breathe into the belly. Oh, yeah, and then just gently here, we'll begin to come out of it. And so draw the knees up and then shift the hips to neutral, then through neutral. So hips to the left and the knees to the right. Of course, the gaze to the left. And breathe into the belly. Simple little supine twist feels so significant to the body. It can. And again, just going equal directions in our practice, side to side, Hatha Yoga, sun and moon. And again, gently inhale, float knees to neutral, shift the hips back to neutral position, and then hug on lightly into the chest. And then we'll come into reverse posture with seal, Viparita Karani Mudra, ground the hands, or place the hips on a block, but then lift the feet, lift the hips here. The legs are in a V shape. Mm-hmm. Stay with the breath. The chin is lifting. And just peacefully breathe. So very good. Yeah, and then just we'll bend the knees here and gently release the feet and legs to the earth. Maybe pike out of it with the hips slowly declining and releasing to the earth here. Extend the legs out. Feet turn open. The palms can turn open. Arms kind of separated from the side of the body. And we'll do our breath, a little breath retentions that we do. So exhale your breathing completely. And then take a nice big inhale and hold the breath in here. So inhale, hold the breath. And slowly exhale the breath. We'll do one more of those here. So exhale your breathing and then take a nice big inhale. Hold the breath in. Then pooch out your belly while you hold the breath. And then gently exhale your breathing. Very nice here, friends. And you can stay in this position. Then take it right into Shavasana. Or actually, we're going to come up, check that. Different day. Feel really good. Come on up to seated position. We in our sadhana, our pranayams. Ooh. Take a moment here and get comfortable and organized. Oh, yeah. So for our practice, we'll be practicing Nadi Shodan, alternate nostril breathing, and we'll do a couple of other pranayams here. But we'll begin with Nadi Shodan. As a reminder, we fold the index finger and the middle finger of the right hand into the palm of the hand, extend thumb, ring finger. Gently bring that right hand to the face, the elbow lifts, a little exhale, and begin the practice of Nadi Shodan, alternate nostril breathing, nerve cleansing practice. Allow for the, if you will, the smoothness and the subtlety of your breathing to transfer now into this practice, and also the sense of intuitive equanimity in how you pace the breath. Just staying with the practice here. And then no hurries here. To complete the round that you're on, exhale out the left nostril. Pause for a moment. And then we'll begin the practice using the other hand. So Nadi Shodan, but now bend the left hand, index finger, middle finger into the palm of the hand. When you're ready, of course, bring that left hand to the face, elbow lifts, exhale your breathing, close the left nostril with the thumb, and then inhale through the right and continue. Just work out whatever, awkwardness or newness. Vritti, equal fluctuation. Just staying with the practice here, staying committed to the practice. And then I'll listen carefully by exhaling out the right nostril. Complete the round that you're on. So there's no hurries here. Cycle through. Just feel the effects of the practice here. And then our next practice is called Dirga Rechak Pranayam. And that simply means extended exhalation. And so take a normalized inhale, full yogic breath, belly, ribs, chest. Get to the very tip top of that inhale. And the exhale is slow and as smooth and as peaceful as possible, completely releasing the breath. And it takes a little bit of endurance to go to the bottom of the breath sometimes, a little courage even. So just kind of work that out. Dirga Rechak Pranayama, extended exhalation. Just slowing everything down. Allowing for a sense of presence to prevail. And then with your next exhalation, we'll complete rather this practice. Wherever you are, just gently bringing the practice to a close here. And then we'll simply flip this. So Dirga Purak Pranayam, that means extended inhalation. And so with the full yogic breath, just slow the inhale down as long as comfortable. Very peaceful inhalation. Maybe make it as long as the exhale on Dirga Rechak. Normal exhale, extended inhale, Dirga Purak Pranayam, extended inhalation. And then with your next exhalation, we'll complete this practice, bringing our pranayama practice to close here. Let the belly breath reemerge. We know the belly breath has a cooling quality. If you'd like to do Shitali Pranayam or Sitkari, the cooling breath or the hissing breath for a little extra coolness in the body, do that. The practice is done by turning the tongue into a pipe shape, inhaling the breath across the tongue, belly expanding, so it's just a belly breath, and then close the mouth and exhale through the nostrils. Or same thing for Sitkari, the teeth come together, the tongue to the back of the teeth, and then just draw the breath across the tongue and through the teeth, of course. You choose what's most suitable for your body here. And gently let your inner drishti ascend to the third eye. And just allow for the mantra of Om to appear in the inner mind as you inhale and also as you exhale. And begin to add mantra here, or continue rather with Om as you inhale, Om as you exhale. It's essentially seeding the third eye with prana and vibration, illuminating your cosmic self. And just allowing for a sense of peace and presence to fill the being here. And then just very gently here, let the focus on the third eye chakra subside and the mantra also subside. Just going to shift our concentration a little bit to the field that's surrounding the body. And just notice, if you will, that the field is, well, it's awake, it's alive. And just allow for any subtle sensation to appear that connects to that possibility. And then just gently let even that perception subside here. And allow for your tender experience to just pivot completely into a sense of being, complete and totality of equanimity. And just a sense of beingness here, a sense of presence. So allow for that which is in you, that is the perceiver, to reemerge from the state of being or non-being. And just notice that one is perceiving. Let the breath just gently deepen here. So stirring one's self back into the creation. But then take a moment here, let the palms turn upward and allow for your intention to reappear. That thing that's binding us, if you will, into the pairs of opposites, some attraction or aversion, and just allow for this really fluid equanimity to hold the sankalpa, to hold the intention. And this feeling. And then we'll just gently draw the hands to prayer at the heart. And then just the share of gratitude here. First, for what brings you to your practice and what activates you into these types of practices, our spiritual practice with some intention and direction. Very grateful for that. You share that time with me here on Illuminated Insight Yoga YouTube channel. And gratitude to yoga itself. May we all just participate in the beauty of this great wisdom that we get to explore together. Namaste. I'm going to just slip here a little closer. Wow, so thank you very much, friends, for again joining me for another great session of Illuminated Insight Yoga. Some of Vritti, equal, right, fluctuation. And a little reminder, retreat hopefully happening at Shivalaya this weekend. Karma Yoga 2, where we're going to unpack karma through the Yoga Sutras. And so if you have an interest, definitely reach out. Find me on Saturday morning. If not, we'll be doing practice there. The Venmo, Dakshina, they call it. It's much appreciated. Put a little shout out of hello into the comments. Eric, thanks for joining. And whoever else may be here, thank you as well. And of course, signing off with love, peace. Always just love, peace, everyone. Thank you so much. Another incredible practice. Namaste, friends. Thanks, Shigeko.